Welcome back to Guitar Theory Modules. This is Module 47 and we're on page 120. In Module 46, you'll learn to recognize and write diminished 7 chords. In this module, I'm going to show you how to play diminished 7 arpeggios. The diminished 7 chord is a symmetrical chord, meaning that the interval from one note to the next is always going to be the same, even when you extend it to the octave and beyond. Here's an E diminished 7 chord. The distance from the E to the G is 3 half steps. So there's your E, 1, 2, 3, there's your G. The distance from G to B flat is also 3 half steps. G, then 1, 2, 3 to B flat. The distance from B flat to D flat, surprise, is 3 half steps. B flat, 1, 2, 3, there's your D flat. And the distance from D flat to E is 3 half steps. D flat, 1, 2, 3 to E. Because the diminished 7 chord is symmetrical, it's really 4 chords in one, and what you call it really depends on context and the way you spell the notes. So this C diminished 7 chord can also be thought of as a D sharp diminished 7 or E flat diminished 7, depending on what you call it. You could also think of this as an F sharp diminished 7 or an A diminished 7. It's really all the same notes, sometimes spelled differently and harmonically, and again, the context in the music or the way you spell it decides what you call it. C sharp diminished 7 can also be thought of as E diminished 7, can also be thought of as G diminished 7, can also be thought of as A sharp diminished 7 or B flat diminished 7. And this D diminished 7 can also be thought of as F diminished 7, G sharp diminished 7, or you could call that A flat diminished 7 if you like, or B diminished 7. Due to the symmetry of this diminished 7 chord, any of these notes in the diagram could be considered a root note, and again, it just depends on context. What you want to do with each arpeggio is start on any note and follow the arrows up and down. And another cool thing about this diminished 7 chord is that you could take any of these arpeggio shapes and then move it up or down 3 frets. It's going to still be the same arpeggio, just starting on a different note. So we're going to start at the end of the fretboard on the 1st fret, and again, you could call this any one of 4 chords, but we're going to call this an F diminished 7. You play finger 1, 4, 1 shifting to the right, and 4, 1 shifting to the right, and 4, 1 shifting to the right, and 4, 3, 1, 4, and back to 1, 3, 4, 1, 4 shifting to the left, 1, 4 shifting to the left, 1, 4 shifting to the left, and 1. A good way to practice these diminished 7 arpeggios is to start at the end of the fretboard and work your way up, and always name your starting note. So this would be an F diminished 7, and then you move up to the 2nd fret, F sharp diminished 7. And G diminished 7. And then work your way up as high as you like. Maybe you work your way up to this C and call it a C diminished 7. from that point, you work your way down back to B diminished 7, all the way back down to where you started. Your assignment for this module is to add diminished 7 arpeggios into your practice routine. This is going to be a lifelong assignment, so feel free to move right on to the next module. And don't forget to check out my book Guitar Theory modules. Of course, you can watch all these videos for free, but if you have a copy of Guitar Theory modules, you'll have all this information in one place. It's going to be a lot easier to follow along. So I'll leave a link in the description. Take your time with this, and when you're ready, I'll see you in Module 48, which is going to be a brief review of the types of 7th chords you've learned so far. Plus, I'm going to show you some movable 7th chord shapes that are going to come in handy in the next few modules.